The top story on ABC News Breakfast this morning, Prime Minister Julia Gillard has changed her mind and she's now backing a push to end the ban on uranium exports to India. The issue will be debated at next month's Labor Party National Conference.
Ms Gillard argues the move would strengthen Australia's relations with India. Pressure's been mounting to change that policy. Resources Minister Martin Ferguson and Foreign Minister Kevin Rudd both support selling uranium to India.
For more, Labor Senator Doug Cameron joins us now on the phone. Senator Cameron, good morning. What's your view on the Prime Minister's change of heart?
Well, I would not support selling uranium to any country who hasn't signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. I think that would be the majority view within the left of the party.
And therefore, will you be seeking to overturn what the Prime Minister's trying to do at the Labor Party National Conference?
Yeah, obviously we'd want some discussions with the Prime Minister before we do anything at the conference. This has come out of the blue. There has been a push within the right of the party to do this, and it seems that the Prime Minister has adopted that position. So we'll have to have some discussions and get an understanding as to why we would be exporting uranium to a country who hasn't signed the Non-Nuclear Proliferation Treaty.
So you're angry about not being consulted by the Prime Minister?
No, it's not angry at all. I just think when you make these big policy decisions, it would always be helpful to have discussions within the party.
What is wrong with exporting uranium to India, given that, as the Prime Minister assures us, there will be appropriate safeguards to ensure that any Australian uranium is used for purely peaceful purposes and won't be used to make nuclear weapons?
Well, we set a test for China, and that test was that China should sign the Non-Nuclear Proliferation Treaty. We also, on top of that test, we had safeguards with the International Atomic Energy Agency, and there was detailed accounting. It was also had to be used only for electricity generation, and in China they've got sufficient uranium for their military programs, unfortunately, but they do. And you know, these are the tests that we laid out, and we're changing those tests for India.
But if these safeguards are in place as part of any agreement that Australia will sign with India, why is it so important to sign that treaty?
Because I understand that India does not have sufficient uranium for its military program and its nuclear power industry. And what we will simply be doing is exporting uranium to India, and that will free up uranium within India for their military program.
So, Senator Cameron, you don't trust India not to adopt any agreement, or not to stick to any agreement, and therefore you fear that the Indian government may indeed use Australian uranium to use to make nuclear weapons? Well,
it's not a matter of trust, and simply saying it's a matter of trust, I think, simplifies the issue. That's why we have nuclear non-proliferation treaties, and people sign off on them. India has consistently refused to do that, so you'd have to ask the question why.
Isn't Australia missing out on a huge economic benefit by not exporting uranium to India?
Oh, look, I think this is one of the weakest arguments. We've got enough trouble now getting enough skilled labour to service the minerals industry. To add more export capacity at the moment, I think is a bit of a moot point. So, you know, that's not the argument. I just think that's a silly argument at the moment.
Even though we're talking about potentially thousands of jobs here, BHP Billiton has, for one, embarked on a huge expansion of its uranium mines in South Australia.
Yeah, but I'm saying, where do you get the skilled labour to do this? We are actually bursting at the seams with investment in the minerals industry at the moment. We can't find enough skilled tradesmen, enough skilled workers to fill the jobs. So I don't see that argument holds up.
OK, you are, as you said, Senator Cameron, going to express your opposition to this on the floor of the Labor Party conference, but you're a seasoned party operator. Do you accept that this is a fait accompli now that the Prime Minister has so publicly come out and supported this policy shift?
I never accept anything as a fait accompli, but I think I know when the odds are against me.
And the odds are pretty heavily stacked against you. You'd have to concede.
Yeah, I think the odds would be against it, but it will be a robust debate on the conference floor, and so it should be.
OK, Senator Doug Cameron, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Good, thank you.